ground, felt the weight. Support calls and long nights, working late, get late. Dreams in the distance, hearts in sync. Building our future on the edge's brink. Lost in the ticket. In the cloud, found new lights, catching clouds, living dreams. My life's now more than it seems. Family smile, endless gleam, clouds my song, won't let it stream. Shifting gears, the sky so high, data flows like birds we fly. Diagrams in code, my heartbeat, understanding the cloud can't be beat. Family trips, moments pure, thanks to the cloud, life secure. Seaside mornings, mountain calls, gave it all and broke all walls. Catching clouds, living dreams. My life's now more than it seems. Family smile, endless gleam. Clouds my song, won't let it stream. Shifting gears, the sky so high, data flows like birds we fly. Diagrams in code, my heartbeat, understanding the cloud can't be beat. Family trips, moments pure, thanks to the cloud, life secure. Seaside mornings, mountain calls, gave it all and broke all walls. And broke all walls, and broke all walls.
Hi everyone, how is everyone doing today? I hope you all are great. So I'm just going to kickstart the session. Today's session is about how to become a senior cloud engineer from becoming a cloud engineer. So I'm assuming you've been in the cloud for at least 1 year and now you want to move into becoming a senior cloud engineer. So let me share my screen. Okay, if you all can give me a thumbs up or a reaction if my screen is visible. Great. So moving on to the next slide. So you guys already know about me. Who was I? So I've been in tech since a kid. I started from when I was, I think, 9 years old. I started with using Windows XP, moved to 97, 98, and you name it. I used to take out hard drives, fix it back in the CPU, take RAMs out, put more RAMs in. I used to connect internet, browse the internet. I used to use a social media called MIRC, which was a virtual server-based social media, how we get Facebook and Instagram and stuff nowadays. Before it was all server based, so literally you had to connect to a server in order to connect to channels you want to connect to. So there were channels like country, schools, and specific channels for teenage chat. So I was a teenager, so I used to use teenage chats. I used to also create chatbots and BNCs. BNCs is like having a user which stays online and records messages if anyone sends you. So I used to automate all that process when I was only 10 years old. Moving on to the next slide. So I've shared this slide before as well. It can take many years to travel a short journey without a guide. And that's why I'm sharing this valuable information for you all, so you don't end up spending 10 to 20 years in becoming a senior cloud engineer. So who am I currently? I've been in IT for more than 8+ years now. And I'm always learning, always upgrading. I have my own friendly tech community, which you all are part of, the Cloud Whistler community. Currently, I work as an infrastructure engineer, so I do a lot of cloud work as well. Um, and I am looking to transition into just cloud and DevOps engineering by starting of 2025. And the way I'm doing that, I'm already connecting with companies, I'm already networking with company team leads, managers, and I'm making them aware that, hey, I have a few certifications in line, I have a few projects in line. Once I complete that, I will be ready for the cloud engineer position for your company. I have extensive experience with private and public cloud environment, working with global companies. I've also done cloud migrations, automations, and infrastructure development using Microsoft products, Linux products, and other Oracle products as well. I've developed innovative solutions such as chatbots and automation tools. Moving on to the next slide. So today's agenda, how to become a senior cloud engineer with a detailed roadmap, how to plan your learning, theory plus practical, and number three, projects, because that's your portfolio, that's your experience, that's how you can demonstrate to the hiring managers that you are ready for the position. So senior cloud engineer roadmap. So this industry-aligned roadmap is your guide to becoming a senior cloud engineer or a DevOps engineer. Mind you, you already need to be a cloud or DevOps engineer in order to upskill to become a senior cloud engineer. Each skill builds upon the last, giving you a solid work ground for success in this field. So what is the roadmap for this? So if you want to become a senior cloud engineer, and obviously it's more salary than just a normal cloud engineer. So what you need to do, you need, let's say you started from AWS, right? Now you also need to learn some GCP, because a lot of companies are using Google Workspace now. Why? Because Google is giving a lot of advantages to companies who sign up using their products. Google Workplace is being highly used in hospitals, education departments, and government departments. Google Workplace is also being run in FinOps and other companies. So Google is taking its place in workspace department, and that's why I've added this in the roadmap to becoming a senior cloud engineer, because once you're a senior cloud engineer, you'll be doing a lot of multi-cloud, right? And how did I get this roadmap? I connected with team lead from I can't name the companies due to security reasons, but I connected with a few team leads and I discussed with them on what technologies and what areas does your senior cloud engineer team focuses on. And this is what the information I've got from them, and I'm sharing it with you guys. Number two, you need to learn infrastructure as code, so Terraform. You also need to learn AWS Cloud Formation, and not just learn, but you need to be really good at it with hands-on. Number three, you need to be really, now because you're doing some Docker and Kubernetes, you need to do some advanced containerization. So you need to do some Docker and Kubernetes, EKS, and some advanced modules. And make sure you're doing projects on the side as well. You need to do a lot of CI/CD, GitLab, CI, and you need to do Jenkins as well. Okay, you need to do a lot of configuration management using Ansible. So you need to learn and equip yourself with Ansible as well. Number six, you need to learn monitoring tools. So like Splunk Enterprise, Prometheus, Grafana, you can set these monitoring tools up once you set up a system, and you can synchronize with those systems for testing purposes. Programming, again, Python and Bash scripting is still on top of the list. And then if you want to, because when you're a cloud engineer, you'll also be doing using some JavaScript scriptings for policies, etc. So you'll get a basic idea of JavaScript as well. But you need to focus more and go advanced in Python and Bash scripting. And then again, you need to know version control in GitLabs. You need to be good with networking. You need to be good with VPCs and creating load balancer and managing load balancers. You need to be good with security. So like you need to know in and out security of AWS IAM user and best practices. Also number 11, because I was not having in some space on it. You also need to know Red Hat OpenShift. You know Red Hat OpenShift, you will be different from other senior cloud engineers, and you will be prioritized and given the opportunity before those engineers. But then it will come down on how you do your interview and how you speak. So how to plan your learning? How to plan your learning. So now for 1-2 months, you need to focus on GCP because you've already been working on AWS. You probably got a certification. If not, get a certification. It allows you to get preference when it comes to interviews. Learn GCP fundamentals, do some hands-on on GCP. Why foundation for all cloud operation? How it helps? It builds core knowledge for architecting and managing cloud solutions. What's the key focus? AWS certification architect. So associate certification, you need to go and get that. If you want to get the GCP certification as well, go and get that. Now is the time because you're already working as a cloud engineer. Now is the time to get the certifications. So what's the outcome? You understand cloud principles, services, and best practices. Number 2, you need to spend 1 to 2 months depending on your learning style, on how you learn, how you spend time with learning. So you need to, like, if it was me, I would only spend 1 month. So I would spend a month on Terraform, and I would advance my skills on Terraform, doing some complicated and complex projects. And then again, it's quite similar. Foundation for all cloud operation builds core knowledge for architecting and managing cloud solutions. And then again, key focus is the certification as well in this area. I haven't changed this text here, so I do apologize for that. So then number 3, containers. So what's in common containers? Docker, Kubernetes, and EKS. And you need to be able to create microservices. So why is it essential? Essentials for modern scalable applications. How it will help? It will enable efficient deployment and management of microservices. Key focus, build and deploy sample Microsoft microservices architecture. In other words, projects. Outcome, proficiency and containerization, orchestration, and microservices management. It's very crucial. And then again, you need to go advanced with GitLab pipelines and Jenkins because automation is key. So automates the software delivery process, streamline development workflow, ensure consistent deployments. Set up end-to-end CI/CD pipelines, again, projects. Outcome, implement efficient automated software delivery practices. You also need to know how to talk and demonstrate this technology once you've done the project. Number 5 is monitoring tools. So you can set up, so it's just an example on the left, you can set up a Splunk enterprise or implement a Prometheus or Grafana, and you can synchronize it with your system that you've developed. And you can put it on testing stages. So essential for maintaining system health and performance, enables proactive issue resolution and performance optimization. implement comprehensive monitoring solutions. So when it comes to key focus, it's all about projecting it and doing it hands-on. And what's the outcome? Ability to ensure high availability and performance of cloud systems or applications. Number 6, you need to advance your skills in Python for automation. You need to study advanced AWS networking and security. Then you need to work on AWS Solutions Architect Professional. I know it's a lot of work, but if you want to become a senior cloud engineer, they pay around 180K. And they're not just going to pay 180K to anyone, but someone who can, work with these technologies and who is knowledgeable and can, work with junior engineers and maybe mentor junior engineers as well. So deepen technical expertise in critical areas, enables complex problem solving and advanced architecture design. You need to focus on the solution architect professional certification. Mastery of advanced cloud concepts and practices. Make sure you're doing a lot of projects alongside your learning. Soft skills is very important. So like technical writing, in other words, documentation, so you can create knowledge articles for your team, for the company. You can do mentoring because a senior engineer has to do mentoring as well. So you can do mentoring as well. You can do a lot of contribution to open source projects. So this is crucial for leadership and collaboration in senior roles. How it helps, you develop communication and leadership abilities. Contribution to open source projects and mentor juniors engineers, because these are very important skills. If you can't do that, you can then not get a senior cloud engineer position. That's why you need to communicate a lot. You need to mentor a lot of people so you can demonstrate that you know these skills to become a senior cloud engineer. Number 8, not the last, not the least, but you need to follow cloud tech news. You need to watch a lot of cloud-based podcasts. You need to attend webinars and conferences. You need to attend IT networking events. You need to network with a lot of engineers. So with a lot of senior cloud engineers. Why? Because cloud technologies is always evolving, changing rapidly. So this will help you stay relevant and you will always know the latest tools and best practices. What's the focus on it? So regular engagement with cloud community and resource will always help you stay current in the market. Outcome, continuous learning and adaptation to industry trends, not your trends, not what you want, but what the industry wants. So upgrading from cloud engineer to senior cloud engineer. Like I mentioned in the previous slide, networking with managers and team lead is very important. Doing weekly job research in your preferred location. So not just your local location. For example, if you are moving or you have a dream to work maybe in Australia, so you can, do some research on your preferred location and you can network with the company and managers on LinkedIn. Once you've done that, you can apply for senior cloud engineer roles. You can contribute to open source projects, and you need to be able to mentor junior engineers and pursue advanced certifications. So I've got a success story for you guys. So remember the engineer I gave you guys a success story of last time? He's actually working as a senior cloud engineer now. So after 2 years, when he became a cloud engineer, a cloud engineer advanced from managing basic cloud infrastructure to architecting multi-million dollar multi-cloud solution in just 1 year with dedication and focus. So that could be you. Whether you're a mid-level cloud engineer or transitioning from a related IT role, so for example, a DevOps engineer or a solutions architect, there's a path to become a senior cloud engineer. With dedication, continuous learning, and strategic career moves, you can rapidly advance to a senior position in this dynamic field. Remember, at the senior level, your technical expertise must be complemented by leadership skills and a deep understanding of business impacts. In this fast evolving industry, your learning journey never stops. It still doesn't stop, guys, because technology keeps upgrading. And staying ahead of emerging technologies is key to your success as a senior cloud engineer. And that was all the presentation. And this is the last area. So areas to consider for growth. Do a lot of articles, share a lot of articles, do a lot of projects, share your articles on GitLab, GitHub, and also share it on LinkedIn. Maybe invest in your own domain and build your own website. So it shows that you have also developed your website as an additional skill. Attend networking events, work on projects, add it to your GitHub, collaborate with other like-minded people, volunteer to become a speaker. Because if you're going for a leadership role, like a senior cloud engineer, you're actually a leader for that department. So you need to collaborate with other like-minded people, and you need to go and speak in virtual events, maybe on-site events. You need to do some research on how you can, go about this. You can even contact your local universities, people who are teaching about cloud, computer science, and you can go and give a talk on cloud and DevOps to the students. And you can get it recorded and you can write a post about it on LinkedIn. Join and be part of a tech community, which you already are. And if you don't have a mentor currently, you need to find a mentor. I do provide mentorship as well. So if you need a mentor, you can always give me a shout. Yvonne provides mentorship in the community as well. You can give a shout to Yvonne as well. Me and Yvonne both have experience in mentorship. So if you guys are looking for a mentor, you can reach out to me or Yvonne, and we can, set some one-to-one meetings with you guys. Just keep in mind there might be some charge if you are taking some extra time out for you guys. Unless we are in a good mood and we're happy to give you some advice. So yeah, that's it from me, guys. Anyone has any questions? You can unmute yourself now.
I have a question about the learning journey. So you would say it takes about a couple of months per technology because it's a lot of technologies. And like you said earlier, you can't do everything at once because you'll be all over the place. So you need to focus on one thing, get it done, and then move to the next. So would you say average couple months? And I know people have different learning speeds, so it depends on how fast you learn. Is that accurate?
Yes, that's correct. And I'm glad you brought that point up. It actually depends on how quickly you learn and how much time you invest. It all comes down to
Right.
how much time you invest in learning. So if you give 1 month onto this area, you can get it done in 1 month. So there are 8 steps. So you can literally get it done in 6 to 8 months while you're working as a cloud engineer, while you're making money, while you're current, while you're in the industry. This is something you're doing on the side. And also, you need a mentor. So once you have a mentor, the mentor will guide you on how to speak to your team lead in your one-to-ones. So they will ask you, where do you see yourself with the company in the future? And if your answers are very plain, like, oh, I just want to focus on what I'm doing, then they will just keep you as what you're working as. Where if you have an answer like, I want to develop my skills further and I want to advance in the cloud engineering, so maybe I can work with other managers and other departments. So this indirectly shows that you are becoming capable to become a senior cloud engineer. So again, once you have a mentor, your mentor will guide you on how to have those one-to-one meetings and how to set up a spreadsheet and how to speak with other company managers. That's if you want to work with the same company. If you don't want to work with the same company, maybe you don't like the culture, or maybe you don't like the way they work. There are other companies available as well. But then obviously you need to keep it professional, you need to keep it healthy, and you need to keep it happy. So when you do move on to a different company, that company you was working with before can give you a reference that yes, Adam was working with us. He was excellent with time management. He was great with attendance, and we have nothing to complain about Adam. So you need to stay professional at all times, even if you don't like the company. I mean, if you don't like the company, it shouldn't affect you because it's the company's culture. It's not you. It's got nothing to do with you. You need to focus on you. Great question. Any other questions?
Actually, another question I see out there is, how do I find a mentor? So, for example, you might see someone that you admire, and some people have, I guess, question about approaching someone. So there are
Mhm.
different ways to find a mentor. You can approach someone who you admire, and it depends because that person may be really busy. Then you could, maybe have other avenues. But I get that question a lot. How do you find a mentor? Um, yeah.
So the best way to find a mentor is see who are people getting results from. In other words, if people are taking mentorship from this person, are those people getting jobs? Are they getting increase in their salary? Are they getting a better lifestyle? If yes, then you should go for that mentor as well. And if you just see them cold calling and advertising sales pitch that, hey, I'm your mentor, I'm gonna charge you $10 per session, and you don't see any feedback, you don't see any reviews, they just trying to, pitch a sales background pitch. So you need to be careful with those kind of people as well. Because at the end of the day, that mentor needs to have existing IT experience. He needs to be current. He shouldn't just be a mentor when he's not in the industry. So there are different mentorships. So there are career-oriented mentorship, which focuses on interviews, resume, CV, etc. But then there is an IT mentorship, which entirely focuses on your day-to-day in IT. So when you get a job, how you should act with your colleagues with the first 1 to 3 months, because you will go with a goal. Remember, when you have a mentor, you have goals. So in 6 months, maybe I want to go for a promotion. So there will be a way your mentor will guide you. This is how you need to act. This is what you need to be organized with. This is what you need to do with your colleagues. This is how you need to have your one-to-ones. And it will make you stand out from all other competition. Because it's not just you now in the industry. So yeah, that's it from me, guys. I don't think there are any other questions. If there are questions, you can type it in chat as well. And I also speak Hindi and Urdu. If you have a problem in speaking English, you can also speak in Urdu or Hindi. Okay, great. So I hope you guys enjoyed the session. The recording will be shared on YouTube. Please share it with your colleagues, your family members, or people you might want to help, and ask them to give some feedback as well. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys again next weekend.
Thank you, Suhail.